Guardian Australia spoke to multiple academics and students who described wholesale use of Gen AI going largely unchecked at many institutions. A humanities tutor at a leading sandstone university said she was distressed to find more than half of her students were flagged to have used AI in their first assignment for all or part of their work this year, a huge increase on 2023. According to the survey, as many as 63% of students are using generative AI tools a few times a week. They are primarily using them to assist them with generating ideas, 46%, research, 41%, and editing and reviewing assignments, 38%. Hi everyone and welcome to another video. I recently did a YouTube short/TikTok about how hard it is sometimes to read academic articles, and I was surprised that I got comments recommending me AI websites to help me summarize these articles, and I was like, I don't like this. Today, I wanted to talk about my beef with AI and why I think students shouldn't rely on AIs when doing their assessments. Namely, that it prevents students from developing the soft skills that they need for future work or for their daily life. Part 1. The changing landscape of studying. There's no denying that the way that people study is constantly evolving. Just think about how in the past, people will have to go to physical libraries to do their research, but now we have online libraries and you can also look up scholarly articles or resources on Google. Students delegating their work to AI is not new particularly, mostly because students in the past also delegated academic writing to ghostwriters. Though they are technically illegal, academic ghostwriting is quite a lucrative business. In an investigation by SBS Chinese, it is found that the employer often made 60 to 70% cut of the profits. The ghostwriter would pocket $90 from a 1,500-word essay worth $300. These ghostwriters are often hired without much qualification or much screening either, but that hasn't stopped students from hiring their services. In fact, in the same investigation by SBS Chinese, they interviewed a University of Melbourne student who said that, I have a classmate who works as a ghostwriter. He makes $8,000 a month, that's a lot, and he doesn't even work full-time. Speaking about their process in writing the essays, a ghostwriter who was interviewed by SBS Chinese said, we search for similar essay topics on the Chinese search engine Baidu, and then use Google to translate them into English. We then use Turnitin, a plagiarism software program used by universities to ensure a low similarity rate. Students are always finding creative ways to do their schoolwork, and this is nothing new. Just look at this use of ghostwriting. But it's whether using these ghostwriters or using AI, you're kind of preventing yourself from growing and developing as a person. But I completely understand that there's a lot of pressure for students to perform well in school. Like, you need to get good grades so you can get into a good school, and then in that good school, you need good grades because you need those things in order to get a good job. And I can't lie to you either. I don't think assessments like essays or exams are a good barometer to show how smart a person is or how good of a worker they are. And if that's the case, might as well use all these services and websites to help you get the best score. However, I still think that relying on AI or ghostwriters, that still robs you the chance of developing the soft skills that you acquire from doing tasks similar to writing essays or preparing for exams. Part 2. It's about the principle. It's a different story if you're using AI for accessibility reasons. Like, for example, in Conan's podcast, Conan Needs a Fan, he met a man who used AI to communicate because he is slowly losing his capability of speech. Like, to me, those things are fine. Like, you can use AI for that. I'm talking more so about generative AI in this video essay. Anyway, using your AI to do your essays is robbing you the chance to build the soft skills and discipline you get by doing these tasks or doing all the little tasks you need to complete the whole essay. I'm talking skills like researching, analyzing, problem solving, communicating findings and solution. These are the skills that you need for work, and sometimes these are the skills that you need for your day-to-day life. And I get it, essays can be subjective and that is so frustrating. Like, how do you get full marks for that? But I think that's also a sign for you to go to like lecturers or teachers or tutors to ask them what types of essays that they expect from you. This is similar in principle to you going up to your clients, bosses, co-workers to see the expectations that they have for you as an employee, as a colleague, or as a contractor. I'm talking from personal experience as someone who has graduated and gone on to work and benefited from the discipline and the soft skills that I built from preparing, researching, and writing my essay. Speaking on discipline, I think essay writing itself teaches you to manage your time wisely, teaches you how to assess the credibility of the sources that you are working with, or it helps you start critically analyzing and engaging with the materials, and it teaches you too how to communicate your findings and communicate the analysis that you've made. But again, I understand it's incredibly unfortunate and frustrating that we live in a world where people focus so much on the end results, whether or not you get good grades, instead of looking at the growth and the personal development that you had throughout your time in university. Like whether or not you learned from your mistakes and implemented the things that you learned from your mistake into your work. Because God forbid, when you get bad grades, it brought down your overall average and then it reduces your chance to get good jobs. And it's frustrating that instead of looking at college or university as a place for young people to learn how to navigate professional work, but in like a safe space, employers and people don't look at the overall experience, just the end results. But still, I don't think that you should use AI. I don't think it makes things better. Part 3, other implications. There are environmental implications with the use of generative AI. Like for example, they use a lot of electricity and water to cool down their systems, amongst other environmental impacts. I highly encourage people to look this up. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of YouTube videos that explains how this works. Also consider how generative AI generates responses based on the data they collected from the internet too. As a result, there's a bigger chance of plagiarism. So what happens if you end up being accused of plagiarizing because you use AI? That could have severe consequences in your academic career. Also, do you want to rely on AI so much to the point that you can't function without using them? Like I remember this one time I got so angry during work that I couldn't concentrate or I wasn't in the mood to write emails when I had to. I ended up going to ChatGPT to help me generate some emails that I could send to people without sounding like I'm pissed or angry. But I don't want to rely on AI to do this task, especially as someone who would be able to do that if I were to go out, get some fresh air, and cool down a little bit. I don't have any issues with writing the essays. I just need to control my emotions. And the thing is, what happens if I'm talking to my boss and then my emotions is all over the place and I got super pissed, but then I am required to respond immediately to the boss? Like I can't just be like, oh, hang on, let me consult ChatGPT to give me a good and level-headed response. Like, no, I need to be able to control my emotions and to know how to communicate effectively as a worker to my boss. And what message are you sending to? We're always talking about how humans are irreplaceable, but you are literally delegating your work to AI. Conclusion. It's a very complex topic. I think it might require an even longer video essay. AI is everywhere and you can't really escape it. Also, the system that's in place encourages businesses and individuals to work smart to achieve your goal. And sometimes that involves taking the cheapest way out. And that's why we're seeing so much companies turning to AI to cut costs. Those practices is incredibly demoralizing. And combine that with how you sometimes hustle so hard without seeing any results, I get the temptation to use AI. People want to rest. People don't want to work without knowing if there's a goal at the end of all these hard work. But I do encourage you, if you have the capacity, do not rely on AI to do your schoolwork. Ultimately, I think the soft skills that you build from preparing for these assessments, those things are the things that you will take away and you will need when you're doing your work. And it's also not only for work, it's also for like your day-to-day. I don't want to be one of those people who relies on AI to make myself a grocery list. Anyway, I don't like AI, especially because I work in the creative industries and I've been seeing a lot of instances where artists, including my friends, have been replaced by AI. I am indeed biased, but as someone who has done university and am studying again, I do hope that you will heed my advice in some ways. I don't think I did as well as I hope I did in university. There are definitely instances where I feel like, oh, I didn't do well in that assessment. I didn't score as good. Essays suck, but the skills that I got from doing these essays were really beneficial when I'm writing or doing work. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I hope it at least provided a good food for thought. I don't want to be preachy or anything like that. It's ultimately, again, like up to you guys. I'm just providing my opinion and perspective and my own experiences as someone who has done all of this and work. If you like this video, please comment, like, share it too. Maybe even subscribe to this channel. I post almost daily content, usually shorts and one long form video every week. And again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!